Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I'm
Hi.
getting a lot of feedback from somebody.
Hi.
I'm getting a lot of feedback from somebody.
Hi.
I'm getting a lot of feedback from somebody.
Hi. Is
There
it
it is.
me?
No, I found it.
Okay.
It's
In that
having my own
case.
stream open. And I forgot to lower the volume.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Well, at least it
I
was an
can
easy
do
fix.
that.
Easy fix, yeah. Easy fix. That's great, though. I was like, why is there a million feedback? What's happening? Yeah, we got that working, which is really happy. I'm really glad with that. All right. Well, just so everybody knows, we'll be down one player this week with some scheduling conflicts. Hopefully, he'll be able to join back. And do you mean in the stream, Joe? Annie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you on mine and on Twitch on my iPad.
Okay. Joe? We can't hear you, Joe.
I'm hearing you on Twitch on my phone, but I'm not hearing you through my headphones.
That's interesting. Can you hear
Does that
Annie
make
when she
sense?
talks? Annie, say a few things to Joe for me.
Hi, Joe.
Can you hear me
I don't-
now?
I can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay, cool. Got
Can
it.
you hear me now?
Yes. I don't know what happened. I guess something got wonky. I'll get new headphones. Anyway.
So, anyways, our
So
first
sorry.
donation goal is going to be getting Joe a new headset, so you
Oh
gotta
my
watch out for
God.
that.
Don't need to do that.
Oh, I just love having fun with you, bud.
I know, bud.
But back to it, we will be down a member for probably, definitely this session. We're going to be working on some scheduling conflicts, hopefully get him back here. So we'll have no Kelvin tonight, and Miss Tasha is joining us in a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and start. Got some fun things going on in the beginning of this episode. Just going to pull up my notes for this real quick that are over here. Should have had these open in the beginning, but oh well. I'm a bad DM. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Bad DM, quote unquote.
Forgive me. I am the worst. Okay, so last week we had our first episode, and everybody came together, met up, and we had the family reunion between Kelvin and Cathalia. Little tension at first, but they smoothed over eventually.
A little.
A little, yes.
We also kind of picked up our next little spot to go to.
I'm not sure what I just did, but I really messed something up.
Alright, I keep cutting in and out real bad.
Hello?
Hello?
Did I hear bubbles are happening?
Hi, Tasha.
Yep, I got it now. We're back. We're back in business, as we say in the business.
Yes.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Miss Tasha. How was your day?
So far, so good.
That's good to hear. So I was just letting everybody know that Rick can't make it. And just for the purpose of storytelling, I know that the group was about to move into some mines and see what was going on after talking to the nobles from last week's episode. We're going to back it up just a little bit to where in the morning, Kelvin had a discussion with the group. He didn't feel safe leaving with all of you and wanted to go to the clinic and monitor the gentleman that had the curse-like effect upon him. He was concerned about his well-being and wanted to be there instead of going with you guys.
Which
So
makes sense to a degree.
Fair enough.
that will be our narrative to move forward with Mr. Rick having to be out. So, 3 of you departed with your orc brother, Miss Cathalia.
Again.
Again, yeah, but this time much shorter time span. It won't be a 10-year time span, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, he says.
Will it? Find out next time.
Suspense building.
Building. We'll say, if you guys are ready, we will move into the travel portion of this, or if there's any last minute preparations you want to make, go ahead and let it be known now. Anything you want to do in this morning before you do move out?
I think I made all my preparations.
Yeah,
I'm
think
good as well.
good.
Okay. Then, who will be heading up this 2-hour trek to the northern? You're kind of following the mountain range north, and you were told it would be about a 2-hour walk.
Normally I would say ladies first, but in this instance, it might be better if I take the lead.
Okay.
I completely agree.
If you would, go ahead and give me a survival check.
Survival. Hey, I'm decent at those.
Good.
Normally I'm decent at those. That's a 10.
A 10. Okay. Let me check my chart here. And you'll be okay.
God, what did I just walk through?
No, you'll be fine. It is a 2-hour walk. As you are moving up, you almost kind of see a bit of like what was like a rock slide or a landslide, but you direct everyone around it. You don't lose a whole lot of time, maybe just 15 minutes to a half hour by directing around it. You gather if you would have not noticed it, it would have definitely increased your travel northward. So you do move past that. And after about the 2.5 hour mark, you do start to see this landscape of what would have one time potentially been a village. You see kind of 3/4 to half deconstructed buildings. They don't look torn apart or ruined by age or weather. There is weathering to it, but it definitely seems more like it has been taken apart. And the layout for the central of this seems to be similar to what you saw in Rasso.
The watchtower in the middle, or
Yes.
clock tower in the middle.
Yes.
Is there any of the building itself left?
If everyone will give me a perception check, see what you find.
We gotta get the guy who's outside.
12.
Cathalia, you notice as everyone's kind of looking around, you do see one building that's kind of closer to the base of where the mountain actually meets the ground, and the trails begin to go up into the mine paths. You do notice one building that is a little more put together than the rest. And as you look at it a little closer, you do see what looks to be almost like tarps or heavy cloth that's been rolled up and kind of fixed in this rolled position.
Okay. I pointed out to Tanriel,
Yeah, thank you.
like, hey, that looks
Good fucking arm shield.
like,
I
you know, we
totally
should
intended
go
on
over there
that, but-
probably.
Okay.
Yeah, we can definitely go and kind of take a look. I want to try and
No, I actually
make sure there's nothing that's going to sneak in behind us before we go in.
Okay.
So I'm okay with checking a couple of these outbuildings and also seeing if there's somewhere we can set up
No,
camp.
good. I'm not
We may be out here for a couple of days. I'd rather have somewhere where we can kind of have a decent idea of how much we can sleep and rest and stuff.
We also may not have an idea to have a place we can retreat to if we should need.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Okay. So do you guys check out the building Cathali pointed out to you?
Yes.
As you get closer, you notice that it has been deconstructed kind of from bottom up. So I would say there's still the main support beams that run vertical that are just posted into the ground, but boards don't start until about 6 to 7 feet up. But at that point, you do see these heavy rolled up tarps that have been fixed up with twine. And you'd imagine, upon inspecting the inside of this, you do see like a chair, 2 or 3 bunk beds, or sleeping mats set up. You would imagine you could just roll these tarps down to make cover, and there's still a roof on this particular building. You would gather that this is probably somewhere that any miners that get sent out here, since it's such a trek to get here, they probably stay here during the week, and you would guess they mine during the week and then return back on the weekends with their haul.
Makes sense.
Especially with a perception of 17 Cathalia, you do kind of point out some of the kind of like cart tracks and horse hoof tracks away from this building and back towards what would be the most current rendition of Rasso.
Got it.
Are there any other buildings that we should that kind of stand out, or that would be somewhere where something could hide?
I would say looking around, not really, because most of it, as I said, you imagine they took the boards they could reach easily, so everything's kind of open
Right.
up to about 10 to 12 feet, and then there's even then it's sparse kind of boards on the sides. Some don't even have roofs anymore. The most
Sure.
of what's left is just like the main support beams, which would have been too much of a hassle to pull out.
Gotcha.
I would say all of you do notice the main bell tower is still intact, but there is no bell within it. And upon the keystone, there is the number for 3.
Huh. So this is their third rendition.
Jesus, dude.
I wonder where the first two are. If they're farther up into the mountains with different mines, or
I would say give me an intelligence check.
hope to God I'm decent at those.
Big boy.
Nice.
17.
Nice. You definitely kind of knowing where Rasso is and seeing this here, you would imagine that as many years and generations have passed by and mines have become a little more dry, they just moved the town further south to keep up with the riches of the mountain.
I wonder if that's the only reason they move. If something's attacking them here, that means they might have been attacked in other places as well. But that's another mystery to solve another day.
Something we can ask the villagers when we get back to town.
For sure.
I would say
So,
with your roll, Cathalia, you do kind of notice a more fairly recent track of prints that goes up into the mountain a bit, and then not too far up you do see an entrance into the mountain.
Okay. Like normal prints, or like wagon, or like a creature?
Wagon and horse. and then some mixed in, just normal humanoid foot traffic, boots, no claws or anything.
Gotcha. I turn to Snow and Tanriel and point out that path. Do you think we should keep going? Maybe?
I think maybe we should kind of set up here for a second first.
I got it.
You know, we've explored through everything, we've looked at everything, but I definitely want to make sure that we've got somewhere to kind of fall back to. Is there anything that we could kind of drag or kind of place in front of the building we've decided to camp out in to kind of like give us any semblance of cover if someone's shooting at us or anything like that?
Nothing that would be hardy.
Are there
enough,
any
no.
carts or anything that we could drag or anything like that? Any
No.
equipment left behind?
As far as
Okay.
equipment, you just see like within the kind of outside the what would be a door area, you do see like 1 or 2 pickaxes.
Okay. Worst comes to worst, we bury a pickaxe in somebody.
Perfect.
Sometimes
All right.
it's not a good idea.
Give me some sights.
So, Snow, I've not dealt with someone with your background. That's a good word for it. Can you see in the dark?
I can.
Oh, yep.
Good.
Holy shit.
Okay, so then we wouldn't need to light ourselves up with torches. That's good. We do kind of want to go in quietly. We don't want to alert anyone or anything to... It would be better for us to sneak up on someone setting an ambush than to be ambushed.
I can see just as well as you.
That's great. Are there anything else that the two of you would like to do before we get in there?
Does anyone want a ranger?
Like
Oh.
to still try and get in there before it gets too late?
If we're going quietly, then I'll wait on anything that I'm gonna do.
Okay.
I think I'm pretty much okay with us going ahead.
Don't go. Right, it's on that.
All right. Well, I am going to, I guess, pull out my hand crossbow for anything that's going to be kind of ranged, and kind of double check, make sure everything works, and I guess we're going to set out. Drop any kind of extra, any bed rolls, anything like that that we wouldn't necessarily need that might weigh us down
Okay.
That's all my shots.
before we head in. Yeah. Any kind of rations or anything like that that we picked up, we can leave there as well. Although, maybe we should tie them up in case any scavengers come through. It's nothing worse than being hungry and watching a bear eat your leftovers.
Okay, shall we hit the,
Tie them up and out of sight.
Yes. Maybe stash our stuff kind of near where the bedrolls and the bunks already are. That way it doesn't look like it's anything new.
Hmm.
the only thing that I don't have a bunch of is I only have one.
I will say, there still is the bell tower that is put together, door and everything.
Let's go check out the bell tower first then. Make sure we go through there because I really don't want anything to kind of sneak up on us.
Right. Once you go up to it, it's just well built. It's probably about, it's not very large across, maybe about 10 feet from side to side,
Might be people here.
and then reaches up 20, 30 feet. It's impressively built. You know, it's definitely the centerpiece of the town.
Mm-hmm.
But sturdy, has a door.
Is the door locked?
It is not locked.
Never seen one land on it.
Okay. I will open and kind of ease the door. Does the door open inward or outward?
It opens inward.
Inward. I'm going to kind of open against, I guess, my back against the wall and kind of open the door and kind of give it a little nudge
Okay.
and then kind of lean in to see if I see anything kind of creeping or crawling or hiding,
I mean,
and then kind of ease that door open a little more.
Make a perception check.
you see that?
I'll keep an eye behind us just in case.
You don't notice anything.
That's a 5. I don't notice anything. Most dangerous words ever spoken.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna nudge the door farther open as the bell tower mimic devours me whole.
No, you mentioned further open. All you see is just on the inside. It's maybe about 8 feet across, giving some room for the stonework, and then just kind of directly across from the door, against the back, what will be wall essentially, is a ladder. Wooden, well built, sturdy, and it just leads straight up.
Okay. Excuse me. I guess I'm gonna step in, kind of poke around, look if there's anything, if there are any crates or anything like that, and just kind of generally check it out in a little more detail.
Okay, no, there's nothing in here besides the ladder.
Okay. Besides the ladder. Ominous. Will you, Cathalia, will you keep an eye out while I climb real quick, please? Just kind of keep an eye upward, make sure nothing's going to drop down on me.
Yes, I will.
I think I got a bit of dust in my eyes when I kind of keep the door open. I'm going to go ahead and climb the ladder.
You climb the ladder. It says, hold your weight. No ricketies, no weird sounds. You just go up about 25, 30 feet until you get to where there is like a smaller opening at the top. You imagine to where, if you wanted to, you could get out and stand where the bell once hung.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna see if I can get a better view of everything real quick, kind of that higher level view.
Okay, go ahead and make a special check.
Please be higher than a 5. Please be higher than a 5. 5.
You don't really notice much else that's already been pointed out to you.
Okay, cool. All right, well, I guess I'm gonna climb back down the ladder.
Okay. Simple enough to do. It's a ladder. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah. So I get back down. I tell Snow and Cathalia what I saw, and also this would not be a bad place to kind of hold up in. If we had to, we could always rappel down the outside. Like if something followed us in here and we couldn't take care of it ourselves. But something high up would also give anybody that's keeping an eye out on watch a good view of everything. So that might be where we want to keep watch when we have to sleep.
Very true.
Sounds like a good enough spot to me.
I'm going to knock the dust off of my hands,
Okay.
kind of off of the rest of my clothing, because I'm not a big fan of being dirty. And, all right, shall we go?
So where are you guys keeping your stuff?
I think we're going to transition or at least my stuff to the bell tower.
Okay.
I'll bring mine over too.
Okay. Miss Snow?
And then that way we can
Yeah.
Okay.
we can tie our food off like halfway up the ladder.
Okay. Okay.
Kind of hang it there and then shut the door.
Okay.
Do I notice before I shut the door, if I'm looking around, do I notice any keys or anything? Is there a key, like a lock on the door for the bell tower?
There is no lock.
Okay. Well, we can always brace it if we have to. All right, cool. I guess we're gonna go ahead and venture into the darkness.
Okay.
Roll out.
You would direct your attention to the stream for just a minute.
Oh, nice. There's breads in our lobby. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Here is the view for the mines.
It's so good.
So, this
Oh,
view here is
wicked.
inside looking outward. So as you come up to it, these two sides are the same. You notice this. It's not unlike the other mines you've seen around before. And you kind of notice this is where you need to be because it does have on these 3 banners the symbol of a. Make sure I get this correct here. And Cathalia, you would notice this symbol. It has a pickaxe. The pickaxe like a miner would use on a shield shape. And this was one you would describe to you that was of the former owner before the Huunvilla family took over, since they had not yet had a chance to transition their
Oh.
Man,
emblems.
I recognize that.
that's good. So at least means we're in the right place.
And as you push in, who goes in first?
I'll go in first. I
I
shall take lead.
You do see before you what's been depicted here on stream. You see the end of kind of a railway cart with 4 kind of sconces. They are not currently lit.
Okay.
But you do see this, the entrance has been well made, it's been mined out, and it has these stonework arch, and even the other stonework around it has been placed. You would imagine it took a lot of work just to do this. Whoever owned this previously was definitely not afraid to throw their money around. They probably mined out a larger mouth of the cave and then built inward to make this presentation that, look at my mines, they look great and they give me lots of wealth.
How's it going, by the way? Yo, what's going on, man? How you doing?
And they're also teeming with monsters.
Correct. So, as you all
All right.
push forward,
Fam, you need to eat shield?
give me, let's see here. It is dark in here. There is no light. But I believe all of you have dark vision out to at least 60 feet, correct?
That is great.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
So as you move, and it would have been about mid-afternoon by now, with the walk and everything, and taking a little bit of time to look around. So as you move in, the light is there and helps you for a bit, but soon you fall into complete darkness. Your dark vision begins to kick in, and you have that just shades of grays, blacks, and that's it. That's your vision. Very monotone, no colors, just grayscale for 60 feet. And then beyond that, eerie darkness.
Eerie darkness.
Baby.
I would say everyone give me a perception check with disadvantage,
I'm just happy I thirsted
Oof.
because you are still in what's considered low light.
Ew.
There we go.
Oh my god, can I just roll at disadvantage the rest of the day? Because that's the highest roll I've had. I got a 16.
Beautiful.
Mine not coming through again? God damn.
Not yet.
It's a 4 and a 7, so 9 with disadvantage.
Okay.
See if the extension is broken or something.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
So for you, this would be Tamriel only. You do, at the very edge of your dark vision, after walking for about, I'd say, being careful and cautious, probably about 30-45 minutes, you do begin to pick up, just at the edge of your dark vision, some shapes in the middle of this, probably about 20-30 foot wide tunnel, and probably about, I'd say, 15 to 20 feet high.
Okay.
And that's pretty much the dimensions for the entirety of the tunnel. It's rather uniform. You can tell it's been well worked and maintained.
So 20 feet high, 30 feet across.
Yes.
Okay.
And most of your journey so far has just been most of kind of a straight shot into what you imagine the depths of a mountain itself.
Is it on a slope downward, slope upward, straight?
It's been mostly straight, a little bit of downward slope.
Okay.
Not enough to... You'd imagine that the way they built this was they did want to go deeper, but they didn't want to inhibit the ability of using a cart. Because there is still a rail system. You are kind of... You're following it, but just because it's there with you as well. It's not. You're not really following it. It's just a part of the tunnel.
Gotcha. All right. When I notice the shapes, are the shapes moving at all?
They are moving, yes.
They are moving. I am definitely crouching down and kind of reaching back to grab both of them and crouch down with me.
Okay.
Not like a super jerk fashion. Not like jerky as in like quick jittery movements, but kind of
Right.
like easing ourselves down.
Okay.
And I'm going to kind of like scoot the half step or 2 steps back that they are. And I'm going to cup and whisper into each of their ears to be as quiet as possible that there
Okay.
are shapes moving ahead.
Okay.
I am relatively stealthy, but if one of the two of you would like to try, you are more than welcome, and we can try and back you up. Or the two of you can keep an eye on me, and I can sneak up a little bit closer.
Sure, I'll do stealth.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Let's not use D&D Beyond since it's being a pain in the butt.
There you
Ooh,
go.
nice.
Nice.
There's 2 teams back there? Oh, they're Loba stealing. Loba stealing.
Just disappear into shadow.
Yeah, you kind of push yourself off to the left a bit and begin to hug the side of the mine as you crouch down a little lower. If anybody else wants to stealth, go ahead and roll your check.
I'll give it a shot.
Same.
Okay, go ahead.
Just looking to God, I'm not.
Wow.
Hey.
We'll say.
How do I have the highest bonus and the lowest roll? These are terrible.
It's okay. It's all the fun. It's a group check, so I would say
Yeah.
that's 2 successes. So all of you feel pretty stealthy. Cathalia, you see as Tamriel kind of begins to try to sneak a little lower, his foot kind of slips off the railing, and you just reach over and very quietly but quickly, two-handed, manage to not really catch him but support his lean, and you turn it out of a fall into a lean, and you get him back to his feet. No noise made.
Sweet. Okay.
Give her the thumbs up.
Okay, so all of you are stealthing, and Tamriel has pointed out these shapes that are just at the edge. You see about 2 shapes at the very edge of your 60-foot dark vision. What do you do?
2 shapes?
2
How
shapes.
big are the shapes?
Smaller humanoid.
Smaller humanoid. Do they shamble? How are they moving? Are they like jerking motions? Are they
You would
fluid?
notice that with your perception, you would notice that their backs are to you, and they seem to be kind of facing the direction you guys are traveling.
Okay. I think I'm going to sit for a minute and see what they're doing. If they're making any kind of movements, if they're making any kind of sounds to try and talk or communicate or anything.
You hear a bit of what languages do you know?
Oh man. Common and Elvish.
You do hear some noise, but you can't make it out.
Okay.
Did you see that? I mean, I was 1v3, so I don't care how I died. But I don't know if you saw how they died. Like, they died so fast.
What are you guys doing?
Your title in any game is now the crack. That's facts.
Would I maybe be able to hear anything, or am I a little bit too far behind Tanriel?
That's how bad it is right now, Zara.
How far behind him are you?
Playing Fortnite.
Maybe a foot or two?
You hear some kind of grunts and grumbling. What languages do you know?
Abyssal, Draconic, Elvish, and Common.
You can't make it out.
Um. Life will pass you by in inaction. Uh, I'm gonna try and sneak a little bit closer, get a better view of these things.
Okay. As you, how much
I
further?
mean,
How much closer are you getting?
how far am I from them again? One more time.
You're currently about 55, 60 feet away from them. That's when you
I'm gonna
first
try
notice
and get
them.
up about 10 feet closer.
Okay. As you begin to get closer, you do notice
Email night.
two more figures come into your dark vision that you could not previously see because they were beyond that 60 feet.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But they all seem to be kind of, I wouldn't really say huddled in a circle, but they're circled up and just kind of making these weird noises between each other.
I know I see in shades of gray how different.
Isn't this
Like,
song?
I mean, I've had dark vision for a while, so
Mm-hmm.
I would be able to kind of tell darker grays, darker colors, lighter grays, lighter colors. What kind of gray are they? If that makes sense.
Right. They are three of them. The differences you can make out is that one seems a little hardier than the other
Okay.
three seem just a little bit more scrawnier. But they're
Right.
all similar shading as far as what you would guess to a skin color.
Some of you here right now?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm gonna step a few feet to my right.
Okay.
Do you know where's a soccer skin? Oh shit.
I'm gonna kind of
Yeah, I just saw that. That's amazing. A lot of those
hold
guys
up my
get
fingers,
banned pretty quick.
2, and then pointing forward, as in like 2 more,
Uh-huh.
The issue is
and then
most
try and
of
creep
them
another 5 or 10
are
feet.
not,
Let's say 5, not 10.
Okay.
Snow is gonna start slowly moving up behind him just in case.
Okay. And you see that as well, that as you get within a little closer, the two that were beyond your dark vision range come into it, and you now see there are 4 figures kind of huddled in this circle that are about currently 50, 45 feet away from you.
We happen to see any sort of weaponry on them from a glance?
You do not.
Okay.
There's mediums. Is there an S? Did I delete? Maybe I deleted that command.
Based on my kind of
Fuck you.
my experience underground, in caves, in dark kind of, these kind of environments.
Mm-hmm.
Could I hazard a guess on what they could be lurking like this?
Looking at
Based
them,
off of things that I've seen in the past and also the wounds
right?
that
Looking
were
at
on the
them,
miners.
you begin to assess what they are, and then you see one of them kind of
Sniff.
really sniff the air hard, and then they look in your direction, and you see this
DMCA. I think it's like
abnormally wide, almost Cheshire Cat smile come across a goblin-like face, but its mouth seems to be wider than what it should be, almost like the skin itself has been cut to make his mouth bigger, and teeth sharpened, its eyes open, ears perking up as it locks onto you and just lets out this like "Rah!" And we're gonna roll initiative.
Okay.
Ten, 16, and 23. Jeez Louise.
Alert feet, man.
That's nice.
Awesome.
Are you going to be able to link my initiative? Because apparently I didn't
Yes.
have a token.
I am going to link your initiative because hopefully all of it will go to this once I hit the go button for these guys.
Oh man.
So there's 3 types of weapons right
So
now.
we're going to
Which you can craft into a primal or like a regular AR, like a AK-47, or
open this up. I'm going to
something.
transition
But yeah, like
all
the
of
regular
you.
AR, like if you have a white.
Did your
makeshift,
view
you
change?
craft it with mechanical parts.
Yes.
to a
Good.
green,
Yes.
mechanical.
Now I'm going to transition this onto the stream.
Oh man.
And they can now see what's happening.
Ugh.
So once the artwork comes in, we'll be putting it in your tokens.
You guys are joking, right?
But for now,
Yes.
we have your names.
This is so
That
exciting.
Just real quick, just make sure you can move your characters kind of one square back, one square forward, one square back. Make sure you have control of your characters. Okay, good, good.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
No for you, Joe?
Aw.
That's a no for me, bud.
Okay. Let me get into
I
this
can
guy.
now.
You can now?
I can't. Yeah, I just dropped a new token on there.
Okay. Move that token a bit, and I'll delete the other one. And then go ahead and move yourself in the middle there. Actually, position yourselves as you would have been. I guess Tam would probably be about 10 feet ahead of Cathalia. Snow 5 feet behind him.
Yeah,
There
I
we
would have
go.
been right about there.
Snow would probably be over here off to the side.
Okay.
Fuck that lobby.
Alrighty then. This worked for the game yesterday. Let's see how it works here.
Hey.
Bam! Look at that.
By the way,
Boom.
I am using a few different stat blocks, so mind the names,
Sure.
but
then they're gonna dance.
that's okay.
Just FYI.
I wish I could change that somehow.
Dude, I swear
Okay.
that skin
But I'll work on that
literally
later.
gets grief when you wear it. Everybody focuses you.
This is still pretty cool.
Alright. Top of initiative, we have Snow.
If the competitive scene
What are you doing?
had been 18 plus, like every game would have been so good.
Let's see.
Children ruined it. Children ruin everything, but they're children. That's their job, is to ruin everything.
I don't really have much that I can do. So, first things first. How far are they? Got too many things. There we go. You sit over there for now. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So, technically, only one of them is out of range for me. Cool. Do, 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 do.
It's so amazing, huh? You love it.
For the time being, actually, no, she'll do this right away. She's gonna back up 5 feet. That puts 10 feet between her and the party.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Use her action to summon her wildfire fire spirit so that when it appears, it doesn't burn anybody.
Okay.
And then,
Just like a 18 plus lobby, that would be
does it say where I can summon it?
what?
Not really.
You guys wanna go?
That's interesting.
Where you guys wanna go? Doesn't matter. Go dirty, retail, lazy. Right into the middle of the water. Okay, so how about we go here?
Alright, well, I'll just summon it right in front of Snow then, so it'd be like right here.
Okay. I will
Your map's just
utilize this fun shape here to represent it.
That's actually pretty freaking badass.
And then
I like that.
will be controlled by there. And then what's the proper name for it? Wildfire spirit.
Wildfire spirit.
Save settings. See if you can move it.
I can.
All right, we are
Cool.
in there.
Awesome.
So 40, 50? Yes. I need to see if this is also in Roll20, because it would be weird if it's not. Huh. I don't think it is.
Oh my! I couldn't see.
That's a bit awkward.
You guys are so like literally one shot.
Okay.
Do I need to add your wildfire spirit?
Probably. For
Okay,
now,
I'll make a note of that.
she will use her bonus action to command it to attack the creature that she can see down here.
Okay.
And that is... Did that go through?
Yes,
see.
it did.
That one.
It did.
Yeah.
So that would be a 15 to hit the creature with her flame seed.
I just need to do some quick name changing because it did not name them like I thought it would. And then I'll be good to go. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so you're gonna hit this guy?
Yeah, the one that's directly in front of the spirit.
Alright.
Just gonna lob a flame seed at it.
That hits. Good roll damage.
Cool. Oop, didn't want to do that twice.
It's okay, let's hit the first one.
So 6 damage.
We will.
And that's going to be Snow's turn, because that's all she can do.
Okay. Alright, your wildfire spirit comes out, and you watch as its tail, it's a tiger form, correct?
Yeah, panther, basically.
Panther, okay. It kind of arcs its back a bit, and then you see it get low like it's going to pounce, but instead, almost like a flame whip, the tail comes up and does this overhead crack, and you watch as a part of the tail actually splits off and shoots down the entire length of this bit of mine shaft here, and it lights up the area. I'm saying this, everyone give me a quick perception check.
Is it disadvantage still or normal?
This would be regular because it is lighted in this instance.
It may as well have been terrible.
Cathalia,
Yes.
this difficulty is a little higher for everybody else because it's quick, but you watch as this source of light of flame comes across and impacts this creature. You do notice that you've seen goblins before, but this one looks strange. Its eyes are completely blacked over. You see it's got this black, almost like ink, drool coming out of its mouth before it's just engulfed in flame. And then the light quickly dies down due to the arcane nature of this magic. And the creature is left felled, but you know what you saw. And we are back to darkness. Anything else for Snow?
Nope, that is her turn.
Alright. Cathalia, you're up.
Like you're not like doing it. I don't know. It's like
What was that?
Sorry, I pushed the wrong button and I tried to talk.
It's okay.
I'm going to get my bow
Okay.
and I'm to shoot this dude right here.
Like I said,
Okay.
it's not that bad. Like I've seen people who are literally like hitting R1, 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 so they're switching between all their weapons. Normally, if I do it, I'll switch between them. Like the people who switch to like the whole wheel. So,
Dang.
Nice.
Uh, so that'd be 20 total because your archery feat isn't automatically added.
I think so. I'm not
That's
sure.
what
Rick
it looks
did
like. It added it. Yeah, it's
It looks
18
like-
from the dice, and then it adds the 2. It does not add them together for you.
For you. That's fine. That's fine. As long as I know. Definitely hits. 9 piercing damage. Oops.
Question.
Yes.
Since it's been a while, am I able to tell them what I saw, or is that gonna have to wait for it to be an actual action?
You could speak something brief. It would have to be quick. You can't carry a full-on conversation, but you could put out a few brief words.
Okay. I holler and I tell them they're like goblins, but not really,
Okay.
and I hope that they get it.
Okay. And then you take your shot, and like I said, you fought goblins before. You know where to aim. You take a shot right through the throat, and it drops. So whatever it is, it seems to at least still have normal physicality limitations of a goblin.
Right. And I think that's my turn because I don't think I have another attack yet.
Okay. He's dead. This guy will begin to move his 30 feet. And then he will dash. We'll get right there because he does not want to be. He sees this source of light and he wants to be shadowed, so he turns to your side, Tamriel, but he takes his entire turn to do so.
Okay.
And then this one will do the same thing. $50, $55, $60. Coming up to you, Cathali. He just rushes up to you in this mad dash. He takes his entire turn to do so. So, Tamriel, your turn.
Bonus action, stash the hand crossbow.
Okay.
Main hand whip. Offhand is the short sword.
Okay.
And I am going to attack with my whip on the guy that is right next to me.
Okay. That'll hit.
Nice. 7 slashing damage.
Alright. And with your whip, you just take it out real quick, give it a quick overhead twirl, and snap down on it. And kind of through the clavicle, down the sternum, just the whip just digs in deep.
Split him open.
Yep.
Nice. I am going to move. As much as I don't want to put my back to this thing, so I'm not going to. I'm going to kind of step like that,
Okay.
where I've got an open shot at the one next to Cathalia.
Okay.
If I need to take that shot, or if someone doesn't get to it first.
Okay.
And as I get a closer look, I'm going to also yell out, yeah, these aren't normal. Their eyes are black.
What kind of light does that wildfire spirit give off? Snow?
Let me look actually. Let's see. does not say, actually, if it gives off any light.
I imagine if it did, it would probably be like a lantern or a torch, 20 and 20.
I'll say we're just gonna
Well,
go
it has its own dark vision, which is weird, because it has its 60 feet of dark vision too, but it doesn't actually give off light.
interesting.
Well, do I need to recant my statement about its eyes, or would I notice that with it being right up on me, that the eyes are not a normal color?
I'll say until I can research it later, we'll just go with a 10 and 10 for the Wildflower Spirit's light until I can look into it later.
I would say both of these creatures right now are within its light then, if it's 10 and 10.
Yes. So you do notice that these goblins have the kind of it does look like the sides of their mouths have been cut open to reveal more teeth, and they're, instead of drool or blood, there just seems to be this black inky liquid, about the consistency of blood, but just black. And that's all you notice for now. And your turn?
Yeah, and then my turn.
Okay, that guy's dead. Top of initiative, Snow.
Is this a subscriber special?
Let's see.
Is that us? Oh, that's you.
I crafted a bow.
Mm-mm-mm.
Dude, I need a friggin' mechanical.
The spirit can move
I need a mechanical.
30 feet.
If anybody has any bows,
So,
like without a bow, just has arrows, I would love
5,
arrows.
10, 15, 20, 25. It'll come on the other side of Cathalia.
Okay. You guys watch as this panther, and it's interesting to look at because it is certainly a panther, but its entire physicality is replaced by flame. There is what looks to be fur, fangs, facial features, eyes, even whiskers, but everything is made out of some either intensity or softness of flame.
Use this here.
The elemental will throw another seed of fire at it. I guess that's all it can really do.
Okay, roll hit.
For the moment, anyway. Go back to snow, because that's where I have to do this, unfortunately. Guess an 11 probably would not hit, huh?
Let me check here. Does not hit. It actually manages. It sees this creature come up, and watching what happened did before, it just moves it aside as the flame seed kind of flies just past Cathalia and then explodes into the wall next to you, Snow. Just.
And if you kill animals, dude, those give you bones, and you can make the primal weapons. So the primal weapons don't have first shot accuracy. The shotgun is absolutely busted. You just ram it in people's faces.
Yeah, she's just gonna hold then.
Yeah, just get easy claps.
Okay.
See if Cathalia can take care of it.
Cathalia, it's your turn.
Okay, again, because it's been a while. If I put my bow away and get a dagger out, is that one full action and then I can't attack?
No,
Bonus
that is,
action.
since you're switching a weapon, you are just, it's just a bonus action to make that switch.
Okay, cool. I've got, I think I just have one dagger. I've got two. I'm gonna put, I'm not really sure how to word it. So I'm gonna sheathe my bow, like put it away on my back,
Okay.
and grab a dagger out of my boot. And I want to try and stab the thing in front of me.
Okay, so you do like the swim through the backpack where you put your kind of hand through the bow and then throw it over your shoulder and back. And as you do so, your arm comes around, you pull a dagger out, and then you go for the stab.
Right.
All right, go ahead. Roll and hit.
What does it do? It's just like you can move a little bit faster.
That would just be 18 to hit, but still hits.
Chapter 1.
Hey.
For 6 piercing damage on this one.
Dude, I wish they had helps.
Nope, don't want to move you yet. That first. And easy enough again. You've fought goblins before. You know just a good stab right to kind of the chest, a little bit to the right so you can get the heart. You can shove your dagger in there, give it a little twist, and it falls down.
Some people just have
Sweet.
All of you kind of just take a minute,
grenades there.
look around.
Did anybody get bit or clawed?
Inventory?
Not here.
Nope.
Because I think that's how they're going to. As I'm kind of leaning down and using a dagger of my own to kind of poke at this thing's mouth a little bit.
How long does the wildfire spirit last?
Well, you're like, I'm like, got all my hopes up for a second.
Does it count as just? Is it follow the same rules as your
Okay, let's go back into Pleasant for a sec because I need to upgrade this gun.
druid? Oh my gosh, what's it called?
Wild shape.
Wild shape. Thank you. Does it follow the same rules as your wild shape, or is it less?
What do you mean?
How long does your wildfire spirit last?
That was something that we also haven't decided. But I believe that we just said that it was something that I could dispel if I wanted to. The wild shape itself will last for an hour. So the spirit could potentially last an hour, or I can dispel it.
The spirit manifests for 1 hour. There we go.
7.
It's not on the character page. I had to go to the actual druid part in the book.
Okay.
The spirit manifests for 1 hour until it is reduced to 0 hit points, until you use this feature to summon a spirit again, or until you die.
Fair enough.
So it just lasts for an hour. So for an hour, you do
Well-
have light.
Oh, nice.
A little bit.
And you said you were checking these bodies out, Tamriel?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my boot on its chest,
Okay.
and so left boot on its chest, right boot on its arm at the joint on the elbow, at the wrist,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna kind of crouch down and use a couple of daggers to kind of poke around in its mouth a little bit,
Oh, this guy's selling
Okay.
vehicle parts.
and I'm gonna look over at Cathalia while I'm kind of investigating and kind of poking at it and asking, Cathalia, do you have a sword?
Do you have gold?
Or are you just kind of going with the extremes of two ranges there?
Oh, he gave you a 50 watt?
Yeah, I don't do swords. There was an incident with Kelvin when we were little. It never again.
Okay, that's fair. You never know until you ask.
Always go
But if you didn't have, I would have offered. But that's more than understandable.
Oh, yeah, you just literally drop it. Okay, let's go.
So give me investigation.
Alrighty.
And I can
Just
totally
hoping
help
it's
you if you
something.
need it.
Give me investigation with advantage.
Oh, absolutely.
This is a very art.
As you are assisted by Cathalia.
Boom!
Wow.
That's a nat 20. 26 on that investigation check.
Nice.
Incredible.
Appreciate it, Cathalia.
You are welcome.
So between the two of us, 4 daggers find out a lot of information.
So between the two of you, I will say you find that with the light, the aid of the light as well, its physicality hasn't changed much aside from the mouth being wider and more open,
Mm-hmm.
and the complete absence of anything that seems to be actual blood. all of its fluids, drool, blood itself, and as you poke around even through its kind of its nostril cavity, it's all just this strange black liquid. Its eyes filled with it still. No pupils. Just this odd, inky substance of pure black. The veins over its entire body are predominantly black as well, which you have seen before.
That is certainly disconcerting. Oh, dear God. We have no way of telling Kelvin about this.
What is it?
Well, whatever this inky blackness is, it looks like it takes over their body. The last thing I need is for your brother's head to be bitten off by one of the brothers. Because my best guess, looking at this, poking around, is that it transmits it through the bite, which is why the mouth is bigger.
This guy was stacked, bro.
Can I pull out like a spare vial and kind of fill it without touching any of it? As much caution as I can, and try and fill a vial with this stuff,
There's a car here.
so we can kind of take it and look at it a little bit.
Sure, I would say you probably have picked up a vial. As you go to kind of search for something to put it in, you do notice the liquid seems to begin rapidly reducing
Guys, come over here.
and almost kind of,
They have high
I would say,
ground.
shrinking in on itself and disappearing. And within a matter of not but 5-10 seconds, it is completely gone.
Trying to separate player knowledge from character knowledge here. Would Tamriel be able to put together that this would be something similar to what a host or a parasite would do in a body? Would my experience have given me seeing something similar to this, any kind of aberration type deal?
I would say that your best guess would be that with the host not being living anymore, it was not a sustainable environment for whatever was within this creature to remain alive or present. So it quickly evaporated.
As I'm doing this, I'm kind of turning it over, and I'll stab daggers into it to kind of lift it and tilt it some, and move my boot. Is there anything like pooling into the floor underneath the body?
No, it doesn't. It seems to be less about just sinking away, and it's just reducing consistently until there's nothing.
Okay. I'm mostly just trying to make sure that it's not like sinking back down to leach back into something else later. You know what I mean?
No, you don't see any spots in the ground where it may have tried to seep into. It just seems to be actually just shrinking inward upon itself before being gone.
Okay. I'm going to pull out my journal, and I'm going to start writing notes. Bit of charcoal or something that I've got to kind of scrawl and scratch in real quick. Any kind, just notes. Creatures don't seem to have any increased prowess. Mouths are larger with a question mark to transmit parasite. And then once host dies, the parasite seems to disappear. And I'm going to keep putting parasite in quotes.
Okay.
Because I'm not quite sure what it is yet.
Okay.
And real quick, before we went into combat, would I have noticed, did they all turn at once, or did one of them catch me and then they all turned after he said something?
You would have noticed one of the smaller ones managed to pick up on your scent.
Right. But did they all turn like at once? Or was it
They did not begin to turn
like
until
a hive
one made
mind kind of
noise.
deal? Huh?
They did not turn until one made a noise.
Okay, so they're not a hive mind like creature. It's not a collective where, like, if we kill the leader, like the head, you know what I mean. It's not like
Right.
they're all like zombified and they're all being controlled or something. It's not one single entity controlling everything. It seems to be individual parasites. Okay. Alrighty. After I've made any notes, great job. And that fire cat is. God, I want one.
She's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Like I wanna pet her, but I also think that's a bad idea.
Well, here's the thing. Technically, it's a fire elemental. Fire elementals do give off light, but depends on how much you qualify it as an elemental, because it could also not give off, fire and light. Yeah, it really, I guess, just falls to the DM's discretion from the quick look that I've taken. Is it actually fire? Is it giving off heat? Is it giving off light? That's up to you to decide. But that's something we can figure out afterwards, too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've got notes off to the side to check all this out. So we'll move back to that at another time.
I will keep the elemental maybe 10 feet behind us, though, until we run into something else, just so that we have a little bit more darkness ahead of us.
Okay.
We're not just giving our position away to anything that's inside.
Right. That's fine.
Great idea.
I would say as you all kind of spend this time investigating and admiring the abilities of combat, you've seen each other now.
Very
Tamriel
impressed.
taking notes about these creatures in his journal. I would
Yes.
imagine you would eventually just kind of put that back in its satchel, and then all of you would move onward.
Loot corpse question mark?
Can't say no to loot.
You are
Yeah.
welcome to rummage around on what they may have on them. Go ahead and roll investigation.
I would love to rummage.
Does he get another one?
Yeah, this is for a separate instance, so.
Cool.
Not bad.
Does someone want to help me on that one, or is that just going to be a straight? Oh, it's 24 regardless.
Yeah, I was going
Yes.
to say, you're pretty good there.
It's the first one.
Perfect.
Looking around, they don't really have a whole lot, even in ways of like clothing. It's kind of tattered, no weapons, just teeth, claws, and chaos.
Claws and chaos. Well, that does not sound fun. Hey, are there any other mine carts near us?
No. You have only come across the one that was at the entrance.
Very beginning.
And that was it.
Not walking 30 minutes to dump bodies. Are there any kind of like offshoot areas where we can kind of tuck these corpses into something and out of the way, so that way if we have to beat a hasty retreat? All right, I definitely want to try and drag them all to one central location.
Okay.
And kind of pile them against the wall. That way, if we do have to run, we don't run the risk of tripping over them.
Okay, you take these
because nothing will be worse than falling and that being what gets you eaten.
What gets you eaten. So, do all of you do this, or just Tamriel?
I'll do it too.
Okay.
I'm going to put gloves on before I grab or touch anybody.
Okay.
Make sure that I'm not having skin-to-skin contact.
So you have these kind of like these thick kind of to help protect against the cold leather gauntlets or gloves.
Yeah.
And all of you just kind of move them to the side. And they're
not super heavy.
Yeah, so they're not heavy at all. They definitely seem more dried and shriveled than they were even just 1 to 2 minutes ago.
Huh. Well then. That's disconcerting because this almost makes it seem as if they could take something that's almost dead and reanimate it. they've shriveled to this point. Oh, excuse me. That's crazy. All right. I guess we are going to, if no one else has any other objections, start moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Okay. All of you begin moving further down. As you kind of get another kind of a, are you, what is your pace? Are you being stealthy, going slower? Are you
We are definitely going
walking?
slower. We are being quiet.
Okay.
We're not really talking much, or at least I'm not anyway. At
Okay.
this point, I've also pulled my hair up into a tight, like, knot at the back of my head. My hair is not free flowing.
Okay.
So,
If everyone would like
especially
to
after
stealth, you can give
combat
me
and
a stealth
everything
check.
else. Yeah. And I'm right back to nothing. That's an 8.
All right.
Gotta pull up this one on this side.
Oof.
Wow.
That's interesting, to say the least.
Oh.
Pretty par for the course.
So, Snow, as your natural feline form begins to do its kind of a lower, not really a hunch, but just a little lowered in readiness and moving, your vision scanning forward in front of you, and then you look to the right. And something in that tabaxi brain of yours just kind of, your instincts, your head whips to the right just as you see Tamriel's foot about to come down onto what looks to be either like a miner's pickaxe or like a shaft of one left on the railing, and you just kind of bat his knee off to the side a bit, and then Tamriel, as you look down and your weight comes down on that foot, it misses the this kind of a shaft to a handle of a pickaxe, but you don't make any noise. Your foot lands. Make a bit of
Another thumbs up.
So I will say that your natural 1 was 2 failures, but her natural 20 was 2 successes. And then Cathalia
Yeah. That would have
was
been
enough
bad.
to keep it in the positive.
Yay.
Okay, note to self. Do not stealth anymore. Just walk it out, man.
I'll do my best with the stealthing. Don't worry.
Good lord. Can I swap virtual dice, please? Is there a button
No,
for that?
listen. I had to pay for this, okay? My session yesterday was shit.
She did have to pay for this.
Oh,
Yeah, but then
man.
didn't we talk about that the other day? You're like, I'm gonna get all my bad rolls out, so I have good ones on Sunday.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I had to pay for this.
At least you
Okay.
have to sell your soul. Yeah.
Very true, very true. But it is 7:30, so let's just take our quick 15-minute break.
Yep.
Get a quick snack, stretch your legs, and we will see all of you back here in about 15 minutes.
Cool.
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
unmute all these things I muted on. Perfect. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being patient during our break. Oh, excuse me. So,
All right.
pushing back into the mines and diving back into this story. You travel for another, I'd say, probably a good, at your slower pace of stealth, which I still have all those checks available to me. At your slower pace, I say you probably move for about an hour. As you are moving, your dark vision does pick up kind of offshoots from this main tunnel. They don't go very far, maybe 30, 40 feet at most. Nothing too much note down there. You just seems to be where they were kind of either, because some are like 20, some are probably about 40. You would guess they were either just seeing what was available there, didn't find anything, probably just kind of poking around. No one here is really experienced with the intricacies of mining, so you would just gather guesses at that. After about that hour, pushing on the hour and a half mark, you begin to pick up. It begins small, but you start to pick up thicker clusters of what looks like webbing along the outer edges of the cave and also above you, kind of hanging down. Currently is not obstructing your view, your movement on the floor, but you do notice that as you move further down, it does begin to creep less on the ceiling and more coming down the sides of the walls, and then eventually beginning to come to the floor and make its way towards the central railing system. But this will be after some further movement, should you decide to continue moving forward.
As we're moving forward, can I kind of like look and see if we've got any kind of offshoots or anything that might be covered by the web? Any kind of hidden passages or not?
You do see a kind of another offshoot here or there, but nothing that's... The webbing hasn't come off completely from the ceiling or high walls enough to cover anything yet, as far as you've traveled.
I'll say that as we're moving forward, I'm going to kind of creep to each one of these.
Okay.
And make sure nothing's going to be coming out at us through it, if that makes sense.
It does. And as you kind of distance yourself from the center railway and look down these offshoots, you do notice down one of them a small, looks like two smaller human-sized, like cocoons or webbing clusters.
I'm going to hold out my hand to those two, to Snow and Cathalia.
Okay.
And
the two of you watch as Tamriel kind of holds his hand out to you.
I'm going to hold up two fingers, and then I'm going to kind of like make like almost like an oval with my hands and pointing down the offshoot. Like I'm kind of trying to pantomime something trapped. There's two things.
Okay.
I'm going to creep down, keeping a very close eye.
Okay.
Again, not wanting to leave something to come out behind us.
Right.
And kind of as I do, I'm going to pull a dagger and kind of cut very carefully a slit near the top and kind of look in.
Looking in, it is dark, and you could see something down in there, but you would have to probably cut most of the way through, if not all the way, to be able to gather what it is.
I'm going to kind of step over back to the mouth of the the offshoot. I'm going to kind of wave to try and get their attention, and then kind of like wave them over.
Okay.
scan to see what I have available to me at the moment.
Okay.
Not much, but that's okay.
Okay. Cathalia?
Mental note for the party, since he said that would take about an hour, the wildfire spirit has disappeared at this point.
I go over to him after he does the motion.
Okay. So you've
All right.
got them gathered to you.
I'm gonna kind of whisper that there's something in a net and a cocoon over here, and I'm gonna ask for them to kind of be ready while I kind of open it up. Or should we open it up? It could be a creature. We don't know what's creating this thing that's taking stuff over. And I don't want to leave any kind of creatures or anything behind us. Also, nothing should be trapped in another creature's web for the rest of their lives or what comes after. We should free whatever inside them if they're trapped. If they're not trapped, we should probably kill them without prejudice.
Agreed. I don't like doing stuff like that, but agreed.
Snow is just keeping an eye out on the rest of the tunnel behind and around them.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna kind of creep up back to where I was and kind of take a deep breath, steel myself a little bit, and kind of continue that small cut and just kind of cutting a small amount at a time, kind of peeling it back with the dagger as I do so,
Okay.
trying to minimize how much I'm touching inside of it in case there's
Right.
any kind of poison or any acid or anything like that inside of it. And just kind of going slow, opening it up.
As you continue to cut down, open it up, you do see inside what looks to be, at one time, some kind of a halfling, but there is no signs of life. It is unmoving, still, and a bit shriveled.
Do we have anything to cover the mouth of the cave where we could try and light something to see? Or does anybody have anything that glows softly? I would like to see if this thing is going to have the same black veins that the goblins did.
I don't have anything, I don't think.
The only thing I would be able to do is a torch. Nothing else yet.
Damn.
Not well. I do have something that would work, but then it would also probably hurt you both. So we're not going to do
let's
that.
not do that.
Yeah. I got nothing.
All right, well, how big is the mouth of the thing, of the off cave?
The off cave, it's only about probably, and it's not very large. It's probably maybe 10 feet tall by 4 feet wide.
That's too tall. Cathalia, do you have a cape or a cloak or something? Are you wearing a cape or a cloak?
Yeah, I'm wearing a cloak right now.
Okay. Maybe if we take both of them off, mine and yours, we can try and cover the front of the cave. Would that be feasible there, boss?
You feel like you could probably pull it off. How do you plan
All right.
to affix them to the walls or keep them stationary?
Is there any webbing near the opening that we can kind of like
Stick it
tie
to.
the cloak to? Yeah.
There is a bit, yeah.
Can we try and use that
Sure.
to try and hold up the top cloak, and then the other person can just hold the cloak?
I'll allow it.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to kind of cover up this mouth of the cave because we don't want other things seeing what we're doing.
Okay.
Wink, wink. And I strike a torch
Okay.
and kind of use it to kind of investigate the little halfling guy,
With
our
this
little
torch,
dead buddy.
with the torch present now, you do see as a halfling male, kind of what would have been shorter hair at one point. Definitely seems to be a bit beefier in the arms, kind of probably at one time portly belly, but it does have multiple puncture wounds throughout his body. And give me an investigation check. Let's see how much you ascertain from this.
Okay. Dirty 20.
Very well done. Multiple puncture wounds. As you're kind of looking them around, looking him over, there are some of those blackened veins, but they are localized to the puncture wounds.
Huh. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to localize my dagger to his heart. Kind of push it in there.
Okay.
As I kind of like steel myself against it. I don't like this, but our safety takes priority, and he's already as good as dead. We may as well set his soul free. If it's not already.
It's not difficult, and there's no response either way.
No blood, nothing else seeping out when I puncture that spot?
Nope, just stabbing a dead body.
Okay, well, I'd rather be stabbing a dead body than going, oh, I think he's fine, and last words ever spoken.
Yeah,
I guess we're going to do the same. Yeah, we're going to cut the same. We're going to cut the second cocoon open. Also, I'm checking pockets. I'm looking for any kind of notes. I'm looking for anything that might map or anything like that that might help us out with the mine.
Okay, I would say with that roll, he's got like 3 copper.
Okay.
The other one you open, it's interesting. As you begin to cut it down, you do notice kind of a more greener skin. And do you cut all the way?
Yeah, I'm going to cut him open. Cut it all the way open.
It's a goblin. But it's a healthy goblin, if that makes sense. It doesn't seem to have any of the traits of the other ones you previously encountered.
Is he breathing?
No.
Are there any puncture wounds in him?
Yes.
Okay. Second verse, same as the first. I'm still going to stick him in the heart just to make sure.
Okay. There's no
or
response.
to at least spare him any kind of pain. Okay. Is the goblin wearing anything? Any kind of clothing or anything like that? Any kind of weapons or anything?
Just some simple like tattered robes and like a rusted dagger.
Yeah, all right. Nothing worth keeping. All right. And just kind of use the torch to kind of poke around the rest of the cave little area. I'm also going to kind of hold it to the webbing a little bit. Maybe tear a piece off and put it on the floor to see how well it'll burn.
It burns up just fine.
Okay.
As much as you would expect from webbing.
Right. I will then kind of proceed to put out my torch.
Okay.
Before I stow it and reclaim my cloak.
All right.
And kind of pull as much of the webbing off of it as I can before I redon it and we set back out.
All right.
Snow is watching him pull the spider webs off of his cloak and gives like that cat paw shake when they're disgusted at something and they want to get it off.
Oh, yeah.
Not a fan.
I know what you're talking about.
I
Like
kind of look over and kind of notice it in my mouth. I don't blame you. With a bit of a visible shudder, I redon my cloak.
Okay.
Because I'm sure I didn't get all of it. And the last thing I need is a creepy crawly going down my back.
All right.
I just kind of shake mine off and put it back on because I'm used to stuff like that.
Okay. As all of you begin to move back into the main part of the cave, your dark vision, as you look further down, meets a bit of a curve in the cave, kind of a sharper turn. And you notice the shades of the grayscale against the wall where you see it turn kind of darkens a bit, and you would imagine it looks like they probably hit some rough terrain, so they, instead of just digging through it, they thought best to turn the tunnel, because it does seem to kind of
Makes
turn
sense.
to what would have been, you'd be heading east as you moved into the mountain. This turns it towards the north.
Okay.
And as you look at this turn, you can see it does, the webbing begins to come down off the walls and begin to be built over the ground itself.
To like impede our movement. Like we wouldn't be able to travel on like clean ground anymore.
Correct.
I kind of sighed to myself and kind of motioned both of them to step close and kind of out away from kind of the center of it, kind of closer to a corner or something like that. I don't relish the fact of having to walk over this webbing, but I don't really know what we could use to dig through it. Besides my spear. Does anyone have anything that can be used to burn away the webbing? And do we want to go that route?
I mean, I've got a tinderbox and
Tinderbox and a torch.
torches, but
Okay.
that's all I've got.
If we want to do torches, that's probably the best way to go about it.
Right, but do we want to set it on fire? Because we don't know what the ceiling's like. If the webbing is the only thing holding the ceiling up from collapsing on us, that could be a...
Right.
As much as I like the two of you, I don't relish the idea of being trapped in a mine with you. Especially
feel
with
the same
most of our supplies outside. So what do we do?
I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how I feel about the torch idea the more I think about it. But then also the more I think about it, that seems to be the only way to get through this.
That or we risk getting stuck in the web with whatever might be on the other side of it.
So what are we doing? Do we want to try and walk over the webbing? I hope to God we don't stick too badly. Did we promise what kind of condition we would leave his mind in?
Well, I think he wants to use the mine, because he spent
Right,
quite a bit of money here.
he did.
What if we would be able to cut like a 5-foot wide path and then burn that, or would that be too extra, I guess? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, we know at
is
least
that-
the webbing that was farther back will go up without an issue. I don't think it's so much the burning as it is the screaming, "Here I am, come find me," to anything else that could be down here, like what made the webs.
Well, if you don't want to let anyone know, then it's risking the
Chance of
ire of the web.
So all I have to cut anything would be my little dagger. But
If we want to take the time, we can use our daggers and just clear away as much of the web as we can on our way down. It'll be very slow, though.
if we're getting stuck, it'll be very slow anyways.
What do you guys do?
I don't foresee us being stuck so much as I foresee it just slowing us down.
Then let's
Which,
go
if
for
we
it.
have to, we can light in front of us while we cut and run behind us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm fine with either way. What would you like to do?
I'll just start walking on the web,
Okay.
kind of mumbling to myself in Elvish. I didn't sign up for giant whatever's making these webs.
Okay. As you
Kind of, at this point, I'm going to draw my spear, even though I'm not. I mean, I'm a little bit practiced with it. It's not my favorite weapon,
okay.
but it'll be the best chance I have of holding something back while we're able to try and get away.
Okay.
All right. I guess we're gonna march. Should we go single file or fan out?
How big is the route through?
I mean, it's still the same 30-foot hallway, but can we even see where the the railing is underneath the webbing?
You can. It's not that thick in this part.
Okay. Are we able to walk on the railing of the cart rail
You can.
and kind of stay above the webbing?
Yeah.
I vote we do that.
That sounds good to me.
Kind of balance. I'd hope a cat and another elf could be nimble enough to walk along a pair of metal bars.
Fingers crossed. Surprisingly, I'm not proficient in dexterity.
But that's okay. We'll be okay. You've got balance and 9 lives. It'll be fine.
Okay. So everyone's going to attempt to walk on the actual rails or just the railing system.
Is the entire railing system, like even the slats in between the rails, are those above the webbing as well?
The railing system itself isn't above the webbing. It's just the webbing is less predominant over it.
Right. I am going to walk in the middle on the rails.
Okay.
Not the actual like metal rail, but along the slats in between them.
Okay. Got you. Snow?
She would probably actually walk on the cart rail itself, just
Okay.
following behind.
So you would be on a single rail.
Mhm.
Okay. Just give me a quick acrobatics check.
Fucking knew it'd be acrobatic. Makes sense, but nope, that's a nat one.
Alright,
Okay.
I'm going to turn around and try and catch her. And stop her from falling. Kind of hold out a hand to kind of give her balance. So that she can walk perhaps with advantage.
No, she falls off.
Okay.
And by the time you can
I'm
turn and
going
look
to-
back, you already see her as she has fallen onto the webbing. And as she scrambles to get herself up, everyone give me a just a straight perception check.
Hey, something I'm actually good at?
Speak for yourself. Not bad, 15.
I would say all of you begin to hear this like clicking sound, and it is growing numerous and louder.
Crap.
Hate spiders. Stow the spear, grab my whip.
Okay, that is your response to this. Snow.
So many different things she can do. She is going to use
say you
her
are prone.
primal savagery cantrip right before they appear.
Okay. I'm just positioning you guys on the map. Boom, boom, boom. And then we will see transition to there. And then I will drag all of you to there.
Ooh, nippy.
Okay.
I need everyone to roll initiative.
Man, it's a shame this isn't my monk character, Brandon. You know, how that
right?
would go.
Yeah, that went great.
What is it with initiative, man? Like, for real.
Make sure I got these right. Cathalia 19, Snow 27, Tam 8.
Yes.
I just forgot to click my
Auto
token
roll
first.
for my nacho. Auto roll for my nachos. What?
What?
Auto roll for my
Nachos.
creatures. You can tell I would love some nachos right now. I feel for some nachos, actually.
Can't argue with that, though.
Boom was on screen. I love this. This is so great.
Okay.
Snow, you're up first.
Okay. What to do? 15, 20. So either way, she'd only be able to get 2. Damn, that sucks.
I would say anything beyond probably this point right here begins as difficult terrain.
Okay.
I'm
Unless
sorry,
you
can
stay
you flash that
on
one
the
more time
railing.
for me? On the railing. Okay.
Anything beyond there is difficult terrain that's in the open ground, unless you're on the
Yeah.
railing.
Okay.
What you got, Miss Snow?
Well, that was kind of a waste of a cantrip because they're not close enough yet, but that's fine because it's a cantrip. Anything in 15 feet? Yes. Still kind of a shitty, Cool. She is going to cast Ice Knife at these two.
Okay. Which
So,
one are you
focusing
going to
on
hit?
this one in front.
Got it.
So, beep.
That'll hit.
Cool. see if this will actually do this automatically for me.
Wow.
It does. So the two spiders both would make a DC to not take the cold damage. This spider just takes the piercing damage.
67 piercing.
Correct.
That is you.
Is that half on a success or just no
Nope.
damage?
Straight.
Okay. Yeah, it's first level, so that makes sense.
Then they both need to make a dexterity saving throw?
Yep.
Okay.
DC 13.
One succeeded, one did not. The one that fails takes 5?
5 cold.
Okay.
Yep. Which is unfortunate, because that's actually pretty shitty overall. But that's fine.
Okay. Anything else?
And then that was her action. So for... Nope, never mind. That is her turn.
Okay. Cathalia.
I'm going to just shoot at things. So I'm going to start with
Okay.
this spider right there.
Roll to hit. That will hit.
Yeah.
Yay.
Solid. It looks like it'd do some damage.
Maybe just a little.
All right. As you kind of looking toward that ice knife hit, you see the arcane nature of it begin to rapidly melt in the wound behind. You take an arrow and you send one right into it, and the creature just kind of shrivels up for a second, tenses up, and then just slumps down, doing that slow, like legs curl in, dead spider effect.
Nice.
Anything for a
All
bonus
right.
action?
No.
And would you like to move?
Nah. Nah, I think I'm okay right here.
Okay. Tamriel. Yeah, they rolled
5,
awful.
10, 15, 20. And I thought I did too. I really did. And it turns out I was not worse. So I'll take that win.
You don't have to be the
I am
best.
going to
just
stand
not
right.
the slowest.
Exactly. I'm going to stand right about sure.
Okay.
And then I am going to unfurl my whip and
Okay.
wait for anything to get within range
Okay.
before I go crackle crack.
Gotcha. He's dead. Next is this guy. So he will... What's your range with that? 5 feet?
10 feet.
10 feet?
10 feet. 10 feet on that reach whip.
There. He would begin moving into you.
Yep.
So go ahead and make an attack.
Yep. Hey.
That will hit.
For 8 slashing.
Very nice.
Max damage.
As this one begins to push up on you quickly, you see it coming, and you just take your whip.
Right along its back.
GM layer. Yeah, it's coming at you, and it kind of does a leap to pounce on you, and you bring your whip back and around, and as you snap it right where the abdomen meets the main section of the legs, your momentum from the whip stops it in its tracks in the air, and it just falls straight down.
Awesome. I'll take that win.
The next one will move. What is there? Ooh, nice. 5, 10, 15 to come up to you.
Yep.
And it is going to make a bite attack against you.
Of course.
Does a 20 hit you?
Yes.
You take 3 piercing damage. Give me a Constitution saving throw.
On save. 19.
Nice.
Nice. Let's see if this is half as much. Okay, so you take 6 points of poison damage.
Oof.
As your body, hardy as it is, you do stave off a bit, but you still feel that as it injects its venom into your blood. But you're not poisoned.
Not much fun. Okay.
Next one's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Ooh.
Can't really get close to anybody else, so we'll turn to you, and it's just going to gang
And
up
bite
on you.
once more.
Yep.
Of course.
You're there, and you look delicious. But I don't think a 5 quite beats your
AC. It does
AC.
not.
So, are you just have your whip out right now? Do you have a whip and a short sword, or?
Yeah, just the whip right now.
Okay. So you take the bite from the
Maybe a
first
little
one.
bit of fancy
And as the
footwork.
second one
Yeah.
comes in, you kind of do that two-handed grip with the whip to where you stretch out across
Yep.
in front of you, and its fangs are trying to bite through the whip. And it's just
Kind of shove it back.
you're like, no, 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 and push it back.
Not today, bug.
And then top initiative, Snow.
Snow sees Tamriel over there getting ganged up on. She's going to move 10 feet to engage with this spider here,
Okay.
because that's the, barrier of terrain you said.
Correct.
And she will use her action to cast Primal Savagery and attack that spider.
Awesome.
Okay. Bonus action to cast it?
So, I believe that's an action. Yeah. Casting time 1 action.
But you can still make a swipe?
So
Yeah,
it says it's a melee spell attack.
Okay, so a part of the attack is making a swipe. Okay. Gotcha.
Yes.
Gotcha. Roll a hit.
Yeah, she can either grow fangs or claws. It's one or the other.
What do you choose?
It's claws.
Claws? All right. Take a swing.
Sure. Boop.
Boom.
That'll do it. Roll damage. Oh, it's already there.
It did it for you.
8 acid to this one.
Mhm.
Alrighty then.
Nifty, because there's not a whole lot of stuff that. Yeah. Primal Savagery is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it sucks being a low-level druid sometimes,
All right.
but that's okay.
I've
It'll
got
get
that.
better.
Anything else?
Nope, that is it.
Okay. Cathalia, your turn.
I'ma shoot.
Okay. You shoot. 10, 11, 12. Ooh, just misses.
Darn.
As you watch Snow's claws kind of elongate by about 6 inches and just become these hardy, almost like bone black nails. And she just takes this hard swipe at this spider. It recoils in pain, and when it recoils, that's when your arrow lets loose, and it just flies underneath it before it has a chance to come back down.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm gonna scoot a little bit, probably there,
Okay.
and then that's it.
All right. Tamriel.
I'm not feeling this. I don't like getting hit, at all. So, I am going to fill my whip with a holy light
Okay.
as I make my attack, against the wolf spider that so callously bit me,
All right.
and snap at him with a radiant flash.
Okay. That'll definitely hit.
Ooh, yeah. Hold on, let me add that. For a total of 7 damage.
To the one that bit
Not
you, you
as
said?
much as I was hoping for. Huh?
To the one that bit
Yeah,
you?
the one that bit me.
Okay.
Yes. Because I was really hoping for better damage,
It's all right.
but that's okay.
Snow and Cathala, you watch this for the first time. Tamriel's right hand, you watch as this kind of small cackle of light dances down from his bicep to his wrist into his weapon, and then the entire whip just quickly gives this rapid flare over of light before it coalesces the tip right when he snaps the whip, and you see this small burst of what looks to be this kind of, you would say, divine energy, but you're not really sure if he's a man of the cloth or not at this point. But you do see this, like, where his whip cracks upon the creature. Anything else?
No, other than bemoaning the fact that I didn't have 50 gold to buy a healing potion while we were in town.
Okay.
End of turn.
Let's see here. You're dead. You're dead. Your turn. This one's going to, kind of, after recoiling from its pain, it's going to make another bite against you.
Of course.
And it does not break through with an 11.
Perfect.
So as it comes down, you once again have kind of that two-handed grip on like a length of your whip, and using
Kind of
that.
like a defensive
Yeah.
stretch, yeah.
The next one, after getting punched or slashed by Snow, is going to turn its attention to her and retaliate. With a 22.
Yeah.
Takes 6 points of piercing damage. Give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Eesh. Nope.
You take 7 points of poison damage, as your body
Ow.
is unable to resist the venom in this creature's fangs.
Big oof.
It's the end of its turn. Snow.
Hmm. Unfortunately, she cannot do what she would like to do. Yeah, she will take another savage swipe at it again.
Go ahead. That will hit for, let's see here, 5 damage
Mm-hmm.
on that guy. All right. And describe it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Describe it.
She's just pissed,
no
so
longer standing.
she's just gonna tear into it because she's mad. That hurt.
Okay. I would say after that bite, you pull back and you bring back both your hands in this huge, your paws in this overhead swipe, channeling your druidic power. Both claws just both paws elongate out in these murder mittens that are about 6 to 8 inches of just bone and rage, and just rake straight down through this creature, even to a point to where your strength and the downward rake just plummets it into the ground, like.
Murder mittens, I love it.
Right?
I have to trademark that one.
Anything else?
She is actually gonna back up about 10 feet, because that fucking hurt.
Okay.
And that's it.
Cathalia.
I'm going to long distance stab this one.
You want to throw a dagger or shoot an arrow?
I'm shooting an arrow.
Okay. Just want to check. You never know.
Stabbing from afar.
Yes.
That will definitely hit. For 5 damage.
Yes.
Alright. Describe it.
All right.
I aim for one of the eyes. You know, one of the bigger ones, because I'm mad because it hurts now, and you don't hurt my friend.
Okay.
And Tamriel too, but Snow's more my friend
Right.
than the other.
Love the afterthought, kid.
You pull out an arrow
Here.
and you steady yourself for a minute, take the aim, and you see as its mouth opens up to go in from a large bite at the apex of its fangs being open. You take your shot right through, and you watch as it goes through the creature's mouth and out one of the back eyes, and it just lulls over, unmoving.
Yes.
Bit of calm for a minute as you're all kind of looking around, wondering what else could be coming. Everyone make me... I'll give you a choice here. If you want to go based off sight, give me a perception check with disadvantage. If you go based off noise, give me a straight check. These
I'll
are
go
2
based off
different
noise.
DCs.
I'm gonna go noise.
Okay?
My elven ears
Snow?
that will fail me.
I will also go for the straight check.
Okay.
Not much better.
Cathalia.
I also will do straight check just
Okay.
because I'm still upset.
Ooh.
Hey!
Okay.
Perf.
As you're standing there listening, you kind of give a quick shush to everyone, like shh, and you steady your own breathing from your heart racing in your head. But through patience, you push that out of your mind, and you hear nothing else. You don't hear anything moving or any of the trademark clacking sounds of their fangs and feet. For the time, it seems to be clear.
I think we're okay now. Maybe.
If that's the case, I'm gonna turn around and immediately start walking towards Snow and checking to see if she's okay and if there are any wounds that need to be patched. Before I reach to touch her, I'm gonna ask if it's okay.
Consent is important, everyone.
She'll just nod at him.
And then I kind of start to not poke, but kind of pull clothing and cloth aside from where the puncture wounds are to look to see if there's any streaks of black through it like we've seen in other creatures. Did we see any pooling black out of the fangs or anything while we were close by? I mean, I got bit but I resisted any kind of poison. I'm
I
gonna
would
kind
say,
of
due to the lighting situation here, you're unsure.
unsure. So I'm definitely looking to see if we've got anything. Cathalia, do you think it's worth risking a torch right now? You said it sounds like we're clear for right now.
I
I would say you feel confident that it is clear of any immediate threat.
think we'll be okay. We should
Okay.
be.
Will you do me a favor and stand guard? I'm going to light a torch and ask Snow to hold my torch that I've already previously lit while I investigate the rest of the wounds for a second.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I'll hold my bow ready just in case something does come up.
Okay.
Excellent. And I'm kind of watching and kind of looking and just kind of studying a little bit. It seemed like that hurt you a lot. Are you okay? Do we need to take a break? Sit down for a minute? Give you a second to kind of catch your breath?
A rest might not be a bad idea. I can do some healing.
All right.
So you guys gonna take a short rest?
I think we're going to press against that corner of the wall there, right over about Kyon,
Okay.
and kind of, because it's kind of like clustered. It's kind of a little bit, we'll make sure there's nothing like hiding inside of it, but kind of post up there and rest up for a second, maybe nibble on some dry rations and drink some water. Kind of use a little bit of water to flush her wounds. And as we walk over that way, I do want to check the spiders to see if there's any black in the eyes or pooling anywhere on them.
Okay. Did you light a torch?
I did.
Okay. Yeah. As you look over these spiders in their large size, large for a spider anyways, not as a classification of size.
Right.
But you do notice that instead of veins, there seems to be almost like blotches within their skin, unnatural. Where it almost, you would say it was a tattoo almost.
Yeah. Are there any poking around, especially the one that I snapped the whip to kind of split in the air? Is there any venom sac or anything like that that's still intact?
Roll
In case we need to make an anti-venom.
Roll a survival check.
Survival herd. Oh, never mind. That was apparently a bad idea.
As you're looking through, you're unable to really locate where they may be.
All right.
But you do notice as you're kind of poking around, it
those
does
tattoos
seem
start
to
to get
have
smaller.
that black liquid about it.
All right. Well, let's at least sit down for a few and take a deep breath and see what we get.
Okay.
Just take a little bit, give Snow a chance to kind of stabilize a little bit, let the poison work itself through.
Oh, that's shitty, but fine.
That's why I'm going to burn a hit die.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn one.
Ooh, buddy.
Ooh.
That's perfect.
Hey, you. What you doing?
Right back up. Boom. I'm going to kind of position myself in the front
Okay.
of the cave while the ladies sit behind, kind of closer into that gap. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whip at the ready, because with the darkness and everything, I mean, I've got the torch, but I'd
Yeah,
rather
much better.
take a shot with the whip than with the my hand crossbow at the moment.
Okay.
A little more stopping power.
So you guys take
That puts me.
an hour to just patch up your wounds, make sure there's no lingering effects upon Snow. Snow, give me a Constitution saving throw real quick.
Another one. Please don't suck. Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, you're fine. As you being a druid throughout the woods, you've been poisoned before. You know what it's like to be bitten. And while this one burned through your veins, your body does manage to just, through sheer force of physicality and mental will, push through. And you don't feel any lingering effects after about half an hour, 45 minutes. By the end of the hour-long short rest, you're feeling better. Feeling all right.
Very nice.
All right.
So
Glad
is there
to see
anything
we're all
anybody wants
feeling
to-
better.
Anybody want to do anything during this short rest, or are we ready to move on?
Clean up my whip. Make sure there's nothing like caught in any of the whip itself, any links or anything like that.
Okay.
Make sure that's all cleaned up, and then I guess just kind of maintain watch, keep an eye out while the girls rest.
Okay. Easy enough. Nothing seems to be aware of your current presence. Nothing else seems to be coming through. And do you look further down to where the cave is turned, or do you just kind of stay in that area?
I'm gonna make sure I put the torch out before we go any farther. I kind of pull away some of the webbing on the ground, use a dagger to kind of like cut up a section, so I can kind of roll the torch on the ground a little bit, make sure it gets put out,
Okay.
and then go from there before we start moving forward.
All right. So after your short rest, all of you come together, and as you make that turn, after about it's rough terrain to get through, but it's only for about 50, 60 feet, and then the webbing, the same way as you came into this area, becomes less on the floor, up the walls, then less walls, more ceiling, and then nothing on the ceiling.
Huh.
I would say Cathalia. Actually, all of you here would have experience with this. You would just imagine this would be just mostly their main kind of proving ground or hunting ground for waiting for something to come.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, have we reached the bottom of the mine yet?
You have not.
We're still going to be moving kind of kind of quietly, slowly. About how long has it been since we've been in here?
It's been probably about 2.5, 3 hours. So how long you been here?
Give or take 3 o'clock. Okay. Okay. I'm going to look to them and say, I think we should give it about another 2 hours today before we head back out and try and rest overnight, recuperate, recover any spent abilities, and then we can kind of come back to this point.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. As all of you begin to push further, you do notice in its entire time, it's had these gradual changes of incline, decline, but nothing too crazy. You imagine that whoever built this mine originally kept in mind that there needed to be a central rail system to get materials in and out because they knew they were going deep into the mountain. And there are the offshoots, some of them kind of go for 40, 50, 60 feet before just ending, and then become a little more frequent as you realize they've probably found better places to dig into the mountain, then come back out, dig into it, then come back out. And after about, I'd say, an hour of walking, just kind of off in the distance, you do notice there is a bit of which you can see straight forward. You do see, let me check distance here real quick. Yeah, I would say barely at the end, very cusp of the dark vision. Who would be heading this up? Tamriel still?
Yeah, it's still going to be B.
You notice that the rail system just seems to kind of end against what you can perceive with your grayscale dark vision, like a wall or just an ending to the tunnel.
Yeah. Huh. So it ends, but the tunnel ends as well, or does not end?
From what you can see with this, how you're looking straight down onto it,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to just end.
Okay. I'm going to creep up a little bit farther to see if there's anything else that kind of comes into light.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage.
Okay. All right, 7.
Not a whole lot to notice. You do see that the rail system here, the first time you've noticed this, it does seem to fork off, and there is one that kind of curves off to what would be your left.
Okay. And the wall ends there as well?
You cannot see where it disappears to because it goes into one of those offshoots, but this offshoot is wider, almost like they decided to
rest.
transition the direction they were going.
Huh. I guess I'm going to creep back to the girls and tell them what I found.
Okay.
Do we keep moving forward then?
I mean, we can, or we can mark where we've been and head back out and come back tomorrow. We can go farther, but this is a deeper area. This is probably the newest area that they were mining. So this could be... We didn't even think to ask the brothers where they were attacked in the mine, if it was at the bottom or if it was near the top. They may have never even made it to the spiders.
I don't think we knew how big the mine was when we were with them, though.
Yeah. All right. Put it to a vote. Do we come back refreshed and ready? Or do we see what else is down here? I mean, I've still got a little something left in the tank, but if we come across anything tougher than those spiders, it's going to be a problem.
Likewise.
I would be more comfortable if we had Kelvin here too, as kind of like a backup,
All right,
especially
so we'll
since he's
regroup.
good at healing stuff.
Yeah, we'll go back. We'll regroup and go from there. I propose maybe transitioning, and we go ahead and actually just camp in the tower. There's enough room for 2 to bed down at a time, with us keeping a watch. That's everybody comfy, and I'd feel a little bit better with enclosed walls and not a tarp keeping us safe. We can jam something into the door to keep it from opening. If one of us is at the top keeping an eye out, something's going to have to climb 20 feet before it can even get into us. Or break down the door, which we'll hear both.
Right.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right. I suppose we're going to go ahead and start creeping back the way we came.
Okay.
Still careful.
To get back out, hopefully before dark.
Okay. Will you all be stealthing your way out, or are you just going for it?
I mean, we're not like taking it a run, but I think we're past the point of stealth. If we would have attracted anything else, it would have come at us. We might sneak for for the first 100 or so feet down where we are starting, essentially, heading back, just because we're not 100% sure of how clean that is. But everything else, we can move a little bit quicker.
Okay. And those that would like to stealth can go ahead and give a stealth check, please.
At least, like I said, at least for that first little bit. Nice.
Thalia's nailing these.
Wow.
And I didn't screw it up this time. How about that?
Not bad.
Not bad all around. That is amazing. So, for those first, 100, 150 feet, and you feel pretty stealthy.
Hey.
As all of you begin to move for those backtracking now for another half hour, 45 minutes, you come back to that space with the webbing all over. Are you going to traverse through the rails again, or are you going to just walk on the webbing?
I think we'll traverse the rails again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
At least Tam will. I'll say that. I'm not going to speak for everybody, but Tam will definitely will.
Are you going to walk on the planks or on the railing itself?
The planks.
Okay.
I watch snowfall, and I don't want to do that.
Snow.
Do I dare try it again?
Are you going for planks or are you going for rail?
No, I'm not gonna risk it. I'll just walk the planks.
Okay. Catalia?
Planks. It just seems safer to me.
Okay. Everyone give me a perception check real quick.
Straight or other?
Straight.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ouch.
Not nice.
I would say...
At least he got a crit to...
Tamriel, you
Yep.
pick up on it first. As you push almost through this webbed area. You could have swore you heard that same sound of just that clicking again. And after you kind of pause for a minute, Tasha, you hear it as well. Miss Snow. My apologies on that. you also begin to hear that same sound. I'd imagine you turn to look behind you, or no?
Yeah. I'm gonna turn.
As you turn, you see another one of these giant wolf spiders walking down that way with what looks to be a small humanoid creature riding it, holding a weapon.
What?
All right.
And that's where we're tonight's episode.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Oh, of course. All right.
What an ass. Just leaving us with a little taste.
Oh yeah, just a little num 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 taste.
Jerk.
How about that? All right.
Good episode, guys. Great.
Yeah.
2 episodes
Just
down.
out of-
We're doing great.
Where was it? Out of curiosity, do you happen to know what the max damage roll on those wolf spiders are? Or is?
Yeah, I still have it pulled up. Give me a second here to check it out. The giant wolf spiders, just absolute max damage that they just non-crit.
Yep. Non-crit.
7 for their bite, and then 12 for their poison if you don't make the save.
That could have one-shot me. I had 4 HP left.
Oh man!
I am so glad we stopped.
Right?
I mean, Snow might heal up a little bit anyway, but still. That was close.
Good night.
Especially with our healer being in town. Oh shit.
And I was gonna say, and I thought it was rough just taking a little less than half. Like, oof.
Yeah.
Big oof.
Wasn't fun.
Good lord.
So, yeah, this should be an interesting fight now.
Oh yeah.
Snow's just pissed.
Excited.
Keep everything at a distance. Everything at a distance.
I'm looking forward to it for sure.
All told, I like our combat. We seem to work out pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all did great. I would say I rated I had 3 difficulty levels here. Well, 2. I had the first one at an easy, just to kind of gauge everything. Then the second one was considered. Whoops. Don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Sorry, closed it. Son of a gun. Give me a second here. Filter by campaign, part 20, encounter 2. So the spiders was a mid-range medium for your party, and I made sure to exclude Kelvin from the challenge rating equation.
Okay.
So give me, a few episodes of combat, but I'll make sure that you're not feeling overwhelmed or underwhelmed. Promise.
Mm-hmm.
Give me time.
No, there's definitely danger in that second fight, so...
Danger is real.
Listen, it's not fun without a little danger, so.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I just don't like my neck being that close to spider fangs, that's all.
I don't blame you. I don't think anybody actually likes spiders. Like, even the bad guys don't like spiders.
Well, I mean, my old character did because she had a wolf spider for a pet.
Yeah, I use the same exact
Oh, I
token,
know.
by the way.
Or it
I don't know if
died.
you noticed that or not, but I use the same token.
I've played a few rangers, and wolf spiders can be interesting.
Funsies, right?
Sometimes.
You just gotta raise them right.
That's all you gotta do.
They're like pit bulls.
Alright, but everyone, thank you for coming and joining us. I greatly appreciate you being here, just lurking and watching us tell this fun, fantastic story. To all my players at this virtual tabletop, thank you for your time, your patience, your energy for this project. All three of you are fantastic. Rick, you're great too. I look forward to having you back at the table. But hope you all have a great night, and I will see you next Sunday.
Later, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.